Wilder Show podcast. I'm Scott. That's Lauren. Hi,
Hello.
Lauren. Yeah, hi, Lauren.
Hi.
I was talking same time. Are you there yet?
I'm here. I'm
Like
here.
a Zoom
Yeah.
call with a delay.
Hello.
I
Can you
assume,
hear me?
I assume everything went well for Christmas because we're doing this before Christmas.
Yeah.
So we're just going to act like everything went just fine. There were no big Epstein files released on Christmas Day. Instagram, if you want to follow us there, search Wilder Show Pod. Email podcast at wildershow.com. The Wilder Show podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays, even on the holidays, at 6 a.m. Central Time on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Amazon. Having some challenges with YouTube. Working on it. It keeps bumping me out of public back into private. Anyway, we're doing our best. But if you don't find it there, just check back or check it on any of the other places where you can find it. We're also on the TikTok now and again. So wherever you get your podcasts, you'll find us there, and like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share. And we appreciate that.
Can I say a word about TikTok?
Sure.
There's so much I don't understand about TikTok, and I'm not. I mean, I'm pretty sure we don't call it the TikTok.
Okay.
But other than that, there's so much I don't. I could be wrong though. There's so much I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
All right.
But I read about one of the biggest toys of the year.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know anything about it at all, which makes sense. I don't have kids in
Buying
my
toys right
my
now.
life, that age that I'm buying toys for.
Yeah.
But it said one of the first places it broke out was on TikTok Shop. And then my daughter also mentioned that some of the gifts that she purchased this year she found on TikTok
That's interesting.
Shop. So I'm among friends here, right? Is that
Sure.
like a separate part of TikTok? Like,
I've let me say this: I've never bought anything on TikTok Shop.
no.
But I think what is different, I think we may have talked about this before, they have a button now on your TikTok app
Okay.
that is a shop.
All right.
Basically, all the people that used to make fun of the people that watch the home shopping channel are now doing exactly that on their phones.
They're just doing it there, and it's
Yes,
cooler because it's
that's right.
TikTok Shop.
And it's like every day there is something. I mean, I don't even go down that road. But every now and then it's like, oh, maybe that does look interesting. But all that to say, even though I found it to be interesting, the concept, I haven't even looked. But I do know there is a link or a tab, what do they call it, for shop. And it's the TikTok Shop. And I don't know whether it's all new stuff. I don't know whether it's people selling stuff. I don't know. It's like Facebook Marketplace. I have no idea what it is. I know there is some new stuff there because I've seen a thing where they go. So I don't know what it is.
I mean, I can buy stuff on the social media that I do have.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're on Instagram and you get sponsored posts for all kinds of things, depending on how much time you're spending on the app. I heard somebody say, this is kind of unrelated to shopping. I heard somebody say the other day that they had disabled Instagram and they were amazed by how much time they had back in their lives. And for a moment I was inspired because I thought, yeah, that's been occurring to me lately too. How even just the briefest of, what you think
Pauses.
is going to be a brief amount of time. I'm just going to check in really for me and see if any of my kids have posted anything or any of, the people that I care about. I'm not looking, for the latest celebrity news or world news or anything like that on Instagram. But that can turn into such a long time.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, that's a really good idea. But then immediately she said, well, I'm still on TikTok because I learn a lot of things on TikTok.
Yeah.
Not really?
I will admit one weakness on the social media stuff because I'm not really
It's dogs, right?
No, it's not dogs. It's actually, this is so stupid, but maybe it's so guy. If I turn that thing on to put one of our little TikTok things up, when I turn it on, it opens to like the normal open page. It is feeding me something. So it doesn't open up to the little profile page, and it didn't open up to a place where I can add something immediately. I'm engaged immediately. They give you engagement when you turn it on. And I got to tell you, and it happened just last night. I was doing something and I went on there to actually do some work or whatever, quote work on, to put something up on TikTok. And I was fed A police car chase. I did not take my eyes off my phone. I was there until, and then as soon as that 3 minutes was up or whatever, I was like, okay, where's the next video that continues this car chase? I mean, I don't know what it is about car chases, but police car chases, because they all end the same way. Either there's a wreck or somebody gives up. I mean, you know how it's going to end. It never is that they get away.
The bad guy never gets away.
No, it's all the same. Mm-hmm. It's just, this is in Alberta. Okay. Oh, this is in wherever. Oh, okay. And then I'm a sucker, man. I will watch that. But the shop, I don't know. I'll explore that. I'll have an answer for you.
So you're
about
saying
that.
Maybe if there was a screen where car chases just played over and over and over again.
That would never go away.
And we attached it like to the lawnmower handle or something like that, that it might be a good way to get guys engaged in the things that need to be maybe done around the house in a chore kind of way.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now you got me thinking.
The 12 days of Christmas begins, that group of days begins on Christmas Day.
Right.
So on the first day of Christmas, so on that one day, all you have to do is give one partridge in a pear tree.
Easy.
And then it gets more complicated and more expensive. But in Scattershoot, we'll talk maybe a little bit about that. I do want to start with something kind of serious. This is sort of a point of personal privilege. My dad died of pancreatic cancer 32 years ago, whatever the number, 33 years ago.
Nearly 33.
Yeah. And pancreatic cancer is the worst. I mean, there are lots and lots of things that are bad, but it is really, really bad. And he was diagnosed 1 month, and he died literally the next month. Mm-hmm. It's like February 18th to March 22nd. In fact, statistically, only about 3% of all new cancer cases are pancreatic cancer. Mm-hmm. But it is the third leading cause of cancer deaths.
Wow.
And projected to be the second leading cause of cancer deaths by the end of this decade. Now, that probably means very good news for what is the second. It might be breast cancer. I don't know. Yeah. Whatever number 2 is. In any case, former Republican Senator Ben Sasse announced on Tuesday that he has been diagnosed with, this is quoting, metastasized stage 4 pancreatic cancer and am gonna die, end quote. Advanced pancreatic is nasty stuff. It's a death sentence, but I already had a death sentence before that last week too. We all do. A Sass who's only 53 wrote, I'm blessed with amazing siblings and half a dozen buddies that are genuinely brothers. As one of them put it, sure, you're on the clock. We're all on the clock. He writes, death is a wicked thief and the bastard pursues us all. Now, he was a frequent critic of Donald Trump. In fact, he was among the 7 Republicans who voted to convict Donald Trump in the second impeachment trial related to January 6th riots. All this to say, and I'm really, really hopeful that when it comes time, Donald Trump will show more grace and maturity or will just shut up. Mm-hmm. When it comes to former Senator Sasse, represented Nebraska in the Senate from 2015 to 2023, resigned to serve as the 13th president of the University of Florida. And he resigned that last year to focus on taking care of his family after his wife was diagnosed with epilepsy.
Man.
So he says, I'll have more to say. I'm not going down without a fight. One sub-part of God's grace is found in the jaw-dropping advances science has made the last few years in immunotherapy and more. Death and dying aren't the same. The process of dying is still something to be lived. We're zealously embracing a lot of gallows humor in our house, he says, and I've pledged to do my part to run through the irreverent tape.
It's a hopeful message.
Anyway, yeah, he does not expect to live, obviously. He's Dana-Farber Institute, Cancer Institute, right there in Florida. The vast majority of patients who present with pancreatic cancer, Dr. Brian Wolpin, who's the director of Gastrointestinal Cancer Center at Dana-Farber, talking to CNN. Vast majority that present with pancreatic have advanced disease at the time of their diagnosis. 80% or more of the patients present with advanced disease where we know at the time of their presentation we are unlikely to be able to cure the cancer. Anyway, that was my experience with my dad. They don't know what causes pancreatic cancer still. If you know the body, your pancreas is sort of tucked up under your stomach. The symptoms can present, there could be many different things, just many different gastrointestinal things, like an ulcer, like things like that. And once you find out you have it, it sort of has you. And so anyway, you might, especially this peaceful time of year and peace and love and all that. Remember former Senator Ben Sasse and his family. Golly, every time I see that, I keep thinking, maybe someday, maybe in my lifetime, they would find something that would be an advancement. But for all the advancement that is made in cancer, I saw a thing just this last week about light, the use of light to kill cancer cells. I mean, light and sound to kill cancer cells. So advancements, it'd be great if it could happen in our lifetime. Okay, let's talk about the Epstein files that dropped. I got to tell you a little media stuff. I mean, it was amazing to watch what happened on, what day was it? Tuesday. It was Tuesday morning, and I know more files have dropped since then. But it was Tuesday morning, and another 10,000 became, I think, 20, 30 by the end of the day. Epstein files dropped, and another chance for libs and the media to be embarrassed. And they were. And let me tell you what happened. This will sound really sick, but I set my alarm at 6 o'clock for that day on my phone. And then when it goes off at 6, I go right over the news. I want to see what's going on. So the very first thing, as I turn my phone on at 6 o'clock on the news, they say, breaking news, more Jeffrey Epstein files have just been released. And we're going, it's more than 10,000 pages, and we're going through them as quickly as we can, and we'll report back to you as soon as we find some. Let's go to Kate so-and-so, who's at the, whatever desk. And of the 10,000 files, I think 8 mentioned Donald Trump's name. And again, none of them were from Donald Trump to Epstein or from Epstein to Donald Trump. They always had to put the boilerplate up that says, now, the president has not been accused of any criminal. However, and they do a 7-minute segment about what a skunk he is and how he probably is tied to all this stuff. But one of the pieces that they talked about was a note, internal from the Justice Department or somebody, and it said the president did travel on the jet more than we had known.
Okay.
And it was like, oh my gosh. So he went to the island. No. Being on the jet does not mean going to the island.
Sure.
At the time, we're talking about 1992 to 1994. We're talking about 31 years ago, long time ago. Jeffrey Epstein, after he had done his little stuff with Les Wexner, was the king of New York, had the largest, most expensive home in New York, and was doing all kinds of business and flying people around. And Donald Trump was one of them. And then they parted ways at some point. Anyway, the 1992 to 1994 was long before he was arrested or any of that stuff had come out. So, but they are so hot and bothered, so excited to find out that Trump is in there.
Yeah.
And then what they thought was the smoking gun. It was released, a letter, quote, from Jeffrey Epstein to, what was the Nasser guy's name?
Larry.
To Larry Nasser. It's sound crazy. We'll come back and look at it. But so one guy, convicted pedophile, is sending a letter to another convicted pedophile in a different prison. So they are so excited to read this on the air. And they love even more to say, now some of this is offensive, which basically means what? Lean in.
Right.
Turn it up. That's what it means. It doesn't mean, shield your ears. It means check this out. So here's what the letter purportedly, it is a physical letter that showed up in this tranche of documents. Here's what it said. Dear LN, it's Larry Nasser.
Yeah.
Was allegedly Larry Nasser. Dear LN, As you know by now, I have taken the short route home. Good luck. We shared one thing, our love and caring for young ladies and the hope they'd reach their full potential. Our president also shares our love of young nubile girls, end quote. The letter makes another lewd reference to Trump's treatment of women. Then it says, life is unfair, and that it is signed, yours, J. Epstein. Well, it turns out the whole thing's fake.
Is that really, is that a shock to anybody?
That it's fake?
Obviously, there are people who desperately wanted it to be authentic. But don't you think that it boggles my mind that that even the people who have the biggest stake in it being 100% authentic would have to be thinking, really?
No, see, but they honestly, this would be true of any of us, I guess. If our love was so great that it would blind us from what seemed obvious to other people.
Yeah.
Or if our hate was so great, it could blind us from what to others would be so obvious. The hate that they have for President Trump, the desire, the frustration that they have, that he's there, the frustration that they haven't been able to do something about that is so great that when there is even the inkling of a possibility, they pounce on it and make it huge. And the funny thing is, this was completely fake.
Yeah.
J. Epstein. Among the things that was talked about, it was mailed 3 days after he was dead.
Which there might be some explanation for that I haven't even read, but it seemed to me that the whoever did write this was trying to suggest maybe this was like a goodbye. Like I already know this is what I'm about. But when you receive this, you will already know. So I guess they were thinking as though he might have written it and then left it in a pile of letters to be mailed, and then ended his life, and then several days later it would be postmarked.
Well, the envelope was processed 3 days after his suicide. The return address was for a jail different than the one where he was.
Yeah.
There was no prisoner number on it, which you have to have any mail processed out of the system. And one other thing, kind of important.
Yeah.
The note was not postmarked in New York, where he was imprisoned.
Would that we could ever find out who was responsible for this and who was so not careful with these details.
It's unbelievable. Now, in the next round of the round that's coming out or came out yesterday or on Christmas Eve, there may be more things, but this is the kind of thing that when this comes out and they jump on it like they did, it makes it hard for them to go max on other stuff. Because it's like, hey, dude, you're the guys that told us this was true, and that wasn't true. It was clearly not true. This was wrong. This was wrong. This was wrong. This was wrong. This was wrong.
Before you broadcast it all, is this smoking gun? Is nobody checking on that?
No.
It calls into question, I think, everything they tell us.
I know.
Not just stuff about this or the next time there's any news about this.
I know. And it wasn't just CNN. It was CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS. everybody. The one thing, there's a guy named Eli Honig, and he's not liberal or conservative. He's just a legal guy. He doesn't bring his. I don't even know what he believes from a conservative liberal standpoint. But I watch him for, like Joey Jackson. I watch him for their legal stuff. And Eli Honig, early on that day, said, he didn't say it this way, but he said, "Hey, everybody, tap the brakes. You guys hold on a second." He was trying to rein them in, and then at the end of that day, as it became clear. And people were saying, hey, you guys were all over this, and you were completely wrong. I saw Eli Honig on a talk show, and he said at 10:56 this morning, on that day, this morning, I was on, and I said, hold on, guys, because I had some question about the authenticity.
Yeah.
But I think hate can blind people.
Sure.
And love can blind people. People who support Donald Trump, no matter what, cannot see the things that he does wrong. He can do no wrong in their view. And people who hate him, he can do no right. And we're looking for little tiny things we get pounce on to prove our point, or really to prove what I think most people want. Most people want to prove that they are right. I am right. And so when this happens, see, I told you, I'm right about him, or I'm right about her. But it was an opportunity for Democrats and media generally to look dumb, and they did. It was an embarrassment. I don't know whether they were embarrassed. I don't think they get ashamed. I think they just pivot, and they say, oh, but we'll look over here. What about this over here? Wait till you see the next one. As we get ready for Scattershoot, a little bit of year in review. I have one thing here even now, if that's okay.
Sure.
There was a memorial service held in the nation's capital this last week, but it wasn't for a person. The memorial service was held, I'll give you a hint, at the Lincoln Memorial.
Okay.
This was the year that we lost the penny. So it was a memorial.
Oh, that's right.
So the penny goes away. I say goes away. They're not minting it, of course, anymore. And there was a little memorial service held at the nation's capital, and it was there at the Lincoln Memorial. I'm going to miss the penny. You know, we were talking about this, I think, on a little AI thing we did for pennies. We didn't talk about Penny Annie. You know what Penny Annie means? You know what Penny Annie means?
I mean, I know how it's used, yeah, but
You don't know what it means?
Well, like it means very little, right? I mean,
Right.
it means not worth.
Well, you know what
very
Andy?
much.
You know where it comes
And
from? Andy.
it's from betting, playing cards,
Yeah, gambling. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So ante up.
Yeah.
What is the minimum bet you can make? And you're playing the lowest.
That
it'd
would be Penny Annie.
So Penny Annie is the very, very lowest.
Yeah.
So Penny Annie's gone too.
Well, yeah, I mean, are you really? You say you're going to miss the penny. How often do you use a penny? Do you pay for things in cash anymore?
No, but I got to tell you, recently, I don't know where I was, maybe traveling, I paid cash for something, and they gave me back change, and I was happy to get pennies.
Why?
Just because they're going away, maybe before I didn't care.
It's not because they had any value to you, other than just the value.
I like it. I like them.
Yeah.
I like having them. I went to 7-Eleven the other day, and I think my thing was they rounded. So there were no pennies given.
I don't remember the last
Isn't that weird?
time. I don't remember the last time I touched a penny.
Really?
If I thought about my wallet right now, there are some bills, some
Emergency
dollar
bills,
bills,
yeah.
a little bit of cash in my wallet, not very much. But I don't pay for anything with cash.
Well, when we travel, sometimes I need a 5 or a 10 for a tip.
Yeah.
If you're taking something, it's like I don't want to stop and get their Venmo or scan their QR code.
Sure.
It's like, just have some cash.
Yeah.
And then if I have that cash, I might go, oh, okay. I totally forgot. I've got cash in my pocket. I think I'm going to buy, my whatever it is with cash.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got some pennies, and of course we talked about the steel penny, which I love. I have the 1942 steel penny, a bunch of steel pennies, not STEAL, it's
No.
STEEL pennies. Anyway, so among the things for 2025, rest in peace, Penny. Oh, it is time for Scattershoot.
Let's go.
The Wilder Show Scattershoot as we get ready to wrap up 2025. All right. We started the year talking about AI.
We did.
We talked about AI because we needed to. We were talking about the music that we play here, this music that you just heard. That is AI generated. The music that opens this time, the Wilder Show podcast, is AI generated. That is ours. Was a created in the new world of what is created and not created. We created that.
Right.
The ending music, little sing-along thing. We created that. That's ours. So we started the year talking about AI, and son of a gun, person of the year is the architects of AI, which we've talked about. Anyway, AI, one of the biggest stories of, I think this will be the year of AI, don't you think? I mean, we got the first AI actress. You got the big debate going on in music. What's real music? What isn't real music? What's going to be on the radio to the extent it exists? But I mean, what's going to be on and bought, and do we really care? And just create stuff for us. I don't care you fake me out, just fake me out. Just make it something I like. Or do we say it's not real? And then the whole Christian music thing, you have a thing of music that is written by someone to honor the Lord or whatever. Mm-hmm. That can't be done like that. A computer can't do that. A computer doesn't have a soul. Anyway, people can argue whether, well, wait a minute, hold on a second. So if you're a conductor of an orchestra, you don't play any instrument, but you conduct the orchestra.
Oh, yeah.
But who got the Grammy? Nelson Riddle got the Grammy.
Yeah.
The first violinist didn't get anything. But that was a real musician.
I think if you ask any member of any symphony ever, and they will tell you that the conductor has more of a role in creating that music than an AI doing any AI generated thing could ever have.
And I saw a thing that school after school, university after university are embracing AI in this sense. Got a brand new major. You're majoring in artificial intelligence. If that's going to take some of the jobs, assuming humans are involved at all, you're going to have people that know how to do that. Mm-hmm. And so, it's a brave, maybe not so brave, but it's a new world for sure.
So this is your major. AI is your major, but don't use it on any of your assignments.
I thought of that. Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure it's more finely tuned than that, but yeah. We do have a few best ofs of 2025 that we're going to get to. But before we do that, if you're trying to counteract the notion about yourself that you're a difficult guy, that you're hard to work with.
Real quick, you're not talking about me?
No. No. No.
Go ahead.
Never. Well,
I would never say that publicly. Well, that's all for just between me and you.
One way to do that might not be to make it evident that you're still holding a grudge against somebody 12 years later. James Cameron in the news, of course, making the rounds because of Avatar,
Blue movie,
Avatar, Fire and Ash. Full disclosure, I haven't seen any of those movies. And I mean, I have loved ones who've seen them all and love them. It just doesn't really seem like a lot of what James Cameron has done is not really my thing. I saw Titanic all those many years ago, 28 years ago, 29 years ago when it came out. It was a terrible time. I think I had just had a baby. It was so depressing and so difficult. I don't have good memories of Titanic when everybody talks about, what a great film it was. It was not a good experience for me. So no, I don't have any great feelings about James Cameron. And then it's sort of compounded by the fact that he has this reputation as being someone who's really difficult to work with. And making the rounds for this movie, he's something has come out. He made it known that he still sort of holds a grudge against Amy Poehler for something she said about him in her 2013 Golden Globes opening monologue that she did with Tina Fey. Now, something else that's kind of making the rounds on social media. There is a very long piece with some of the best hit. They did that. They hosted that show for several years. And you can watch a very long piece with some of the best of their, all edited together. And it is hilarious. And as soon as I read this from James Cameron, I remembered exactly what it was.
Real quick, for people who don't know, because some are not as attuned to all the award shows as you. The Golden Globes, let me do a sports analogy. The Golden Globes are sort of like the U.S. Open.
How so?
U.S. Open golf. A little looser, a little loosey-goosey. It's not really.
You mean people are drinking? They're sitting at tables and they're drinking.
Drinking.
Yeah.
There are tables. Ricky Gervais, his stuff that he's done there, it's a little bit looser than the Academy Awards. But anyway, I digress. And I think this was the one. Was this the one where his right around then ex-wife
she was nominated that year. It was
right. That's what
Catherine
I mean.
Bigelow.
It was for Zero Dark 30.
Zero Dark 30.
Which I thought was fantastic, by the way.
Yeah. So Amy Poehler said, I haven't really been following, this is from the stage, part of the monologue.
Right.
I haven't really been following the controversy over Zero Dark 30. But when it comes to torture, I trust the lady who spent 3 years married to James Cameron.
Dang.
So what James Cameron said,
Funny.
that it's not so much, first of all, he said, it's not supposed to be a roast. It's supposed to be where everybody's, honored for their contributions that year. But he said that part of the hardest thing for him was not just that she said it, but then to see the camera pan and the reaction from so many of his peers.
They loved it.
In the room, they loved it. He said, I'm pretty thick-skinned. And happy to be the butt of a good-natured joke, but that went too far. It's supposed to be a celebration of cinema and filmmakers, not a roast. The fact that people found it funny shows exactly what they think of me, even though they have no idea who I am or how I work. And then the piece goes on to talk about their things that he had said in the past, things he told a biographer.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
He said, few bright lights among the younger art department people. He's talking about the set of his 1986's Aliens. The crew was generally lazy, insolent, and arrogant.
Nice.
The crew of his 1989 sci-fi thriller The Abyss even took to wearing T-shirts on set that said, "You can't scare me. I work for Jim Cameron."
No, that's funny. See, but that's the kind of thing I think he would see sort of as a badge of honor.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, obviously, they're wearing them on the set.
Yeah.
I mean, they're wearing them where he can see them.
Yeah.
And so it's going that's a funny joke or whatever. Yeah, the thing with Amy Poehler, that's really funny. She's so funny. But I think that's
it's a long time to hold a grudge.
It is. Well, what's the old story? What's the old thing? Holding a grudge or being bitter, drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
That's exactly right.
So just let it go. Really let it go.
Yeah. I did think that was kind of funny. If you think that Christmas presents cost more this year, if you're worried about your, how you're going to, maybe you're one of those really smart people who pay cash for everything. Maybe you've got some bills coming in the coming weeks.
Plan ahead or whatever, yeah.
Really kind of nervous about all of that. It could be worse. You could have been tasked with purchasing the gifts for the 12 days of Christmas.
Oh, every year they come out with, hey, what would it cost if you bought the 12 days of Christmas?
Yeah.
The gifts that go with the 12 days of Christmas. And that means you're going to buy a total of 12 partridges and pear trees.
Well, that's exactly right. They give you the price in two different. Well, first of all, it's all broken out. This is according to PNC Bank's annual Christmas price index.
Okay.
If you were going to buy just one set of all of them, $51,476 in 2025. If you were going to do it with the repetitions, this would be 364 items mentioned. That would cost you $218,000. Now, some of the prices were static. One partridge in a pear tree, about $370. That's up 16%. However, 2 turtle doves, $750, same as last year.
And those ladies dancing have to be great.
The price for 9 ladies dancing, it is up 3% from last year. $8,557 for 9 ladies dancing. Although I'm how long did you hire them to dance? Are they going to dance? I mean, certainly if you wanted them to dance for a long time, it would cost you even more than, the costumes, all of that. I don't know how much. Yeah, it's $8,557. But you know what? The 9 ladies dancing, that kind of sounds reasonable when you realize that if you want 10 lords a leaping, $15,580.
Per lord.
No, that's for all of them, but that's a lot. It's up 7.2% from last year too. And does it cost more if you want them to leap
farther is the distance.
Leap farther.
That's a little troubling. As you probably noted, I noted that the Lords of Leaping, they are making 7+ more % this year over last year. But the ladies dancing only got a COLA. They got the cost of living increase.
Listen.
So there they are, 3% for the ladies And
no big surprise.
Sorry about that.
11 pipers piping, $3,715. Also an increase there, 15.8%. The pipers got a raise. The 12 drummers drumming, they got a raise too, $4,017. That's up 15.8%.
No, the 5 gold rings, that's not just 5 gold rings. That's 5 gold rings on the 5th day. But then it's also 5 on the 6th, 5 on the 7th, 5 on the 8th, 5 on the 9th.
This is just if you pay for them one time.
No, I understand. But so what was the price? Because gold has gone up. What was the increase on gold?
A lot. It's $1,245 for 5 gold rings.
Percentage?
So it doesn't even give a percentage. It says it's up significantly due to gold prices. But those have to be 5 gold rings for $1,245.
Skinny
That's
rings.
a pretty skinny ring.
Yeah, it is.
That's a thin band.
Well, but you're getting like 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5.
That is just the price for 5.
Gotcha.
If you were going to buy them for the 12 days, you'd have to do $1,245 times 12.
Not times 12. This is just... Because you don't give them on the first day.
You're right.
It's
for
5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
way
10,
too much
11,
math
12.
for me. But
it's
yes,
8,
obviously,
8
you're
times
right.
5.
You're right.
40. There are 40 gold rings.
Yeah. So that was the, if you would like to do all the math on that, I will gladly leave that to you. But that was the difference in price that we talked about at the beginning, where if you bought them each one time, the total would be $51,476. But if you were going to buy them with the repetitions, $218,000.
So it's about a 5%, 4.5% increase overall this year over last year. Tariffs.
Yeah. So many of the end of year things that I read talk about what a terrible year it was. Terrible year. And I know there were dreadful, terrible things. We had, I mean, first of all, it started with all of the fires in Los Angeles.
Right.
So many
Palisades,
people lost their homes, lost everything in those fires. And then, of course, we had so much closer to home, the devastating floods
in the hill country,
in
sure.
July. There were some good news stories, though, that you might have missed in 2025. As you might imagine, some of them seem like they were on a smaller scale, but they might mean really big things moving forward. Researchers in Chile have found a way to harvest fog to bring drinking water to some of the driest cities in the world.
That is really fascinating. I think I saw something about that. And, I'm a fan of fog because it involves dew point, which is the name of my yet-to-be-written best-selling novel, Dew Point.
So much confidence, though, still.
But how do they do that? They capture the fog.
The fine mesh is suspended between sets of poles, which allows clouds to flow through and droplets to form. And then they store the water in tanks. The poorest citizens in a lot of these places usually, like right now, rely on water delivered by truck. And this would allow the water to be harvested right there where they are.
But you have to have fog. Some of the mountainous places, you'll have fog or clouds. You could capture the moisture from those. But if you don't have, the only way you have fog is if the dew point and the temperature are within like 3 or 4 degrees of each other. And it doesn't last very long. That's why the fog usually burns off in the morning.
Yeah.
You have the dew point is close to the temperature, but as the temperature goes up and there's a disparity between the two, boom, no more fog. So you really do have to capture it while it's there. That's interesting.
I guess that, they don't really talk about how they'd transport it. It would have to be, obviously, if they want this to bring water to some of the driest cities. The driest cities probably wouldn't have a lot of fog.
That's what I was thinking.
It's got to be brought. It has to be transported somehow.
Probably mountains. They get it in the mountains and take it down, but have to be a lot of fog to. I mean, most people don't think about this. When you see the, what the conversion rate is from snow to rain. Let's say a foot of snow. What does a foot of snow mean in water? If it were rain, what would it be? Do you know?
I don't.
It's a foot to an inch.
How do you know that?
Well, how do I know that?
Yeah.
Or how does one know that?
Well, no, I understand how you know a lot of stuff.
No, I've always
polymath keeps polymathing.
No,
I'm impressed though.
I've always wondered because I thought, okay, that's a lot of snow, but snow is a lot of air. So if you convert it, and it really is a foot to an inch. So if you have a foot of snow, that's only an inch of rain in terms of water. But that's snow; it's not ice. So that's the snow conversion. But in the
that's fascinating.
So I'd have to wonder, what is that conversion? It'd have to be a lot of fog to get some enough water to matter. Mm-hmm. But the point is, they're working on it, and it's being developed. So maybe there's hope for the dry places.
Here's something that happened with very little technology, or maybe just the old-fashioned way. 8 beavers saved the Czech government a ton of money by completing a dam project that had been mired in bureaucracy. The officials in this region of the Czech Republic had struggled to get dam building permits, but the colony of beavers built their dams on the Klobava River in January and February, turning a former military base into a wetland area, its natural state.
It's funny.
Beavers did it all on their own.
That's funny. And as I hear you say this, because I hear things different than some people do. Yeah. I hear things. And it reminds me that the first thing I ever did that was like some kind of corporate narration where they send you the copy and you sit and it was kind of boring. It was it was a narration of a video. So it was, you have to have that sort of narrator voice.
Yeah.
Sort of that narrator intonation.
Yeah.
Kind of boring.
It's like a presence almost.
It is.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not trying to entertain anyone, you're educating. So you're going to have a very different kind of. But the thing I did was on a dam project. And so when I had things like they had to get the dam permits and the dam construction workers and the dam.
Did even just a little part of you feel like you were getting away with something?
The dam regulations, and it was but I had to consciously make sure I wasn't saying it in a way that anyone would interpret that I knew that was sort of a fun little thing.
Yeah.
But throughout the whole thing, it was sort of a giggle.
Can you imagine all the people who ever got to hear that sitting in giant lecture halls, full of people, and they were trying to stifle their giggles in the same way.
Elbowing each other. She already said. She already said.
The global mortality rate for children under 5 has fallen 52% since 2000. So in the first 25 years of this century. In 2023, UNICEF recorded 37 deaths per 1,000 live births. That was down from 77 in 2000. If the mortality rate had remained at that 2000 level, 95 million more children would have died. It's credited to, this is UNICEF crediting this. It's credited to the efforts of donors, medics, governments, and communities over the first 25 years of this century.
And I will say this, because in our work with children, for this purpose, children suffering from malnutrition overseas, most often our time was spent in Africa. We talked about it before, the first 1,000 days. That's the first 2 years of life. It begins before the child is born and then takes you through the second birthday.
Right.
Because you really have 3 tiers of success. Number one is you have to survive birth. And many children do not. The second thing is you have to make it to the age of 2, and many do not suffer from severe acute malnutrition. In some parts of the world, you have mothers that have babies, in my view, and in science's view, too often.
Very early
and often.
Yeah.
So you might have so my point is, these children that are coming up on 2 years old, they may already have a sibling that needs the nourishment from the mother. And so now this little kid is sort of kicked out and is sort of on his own. And it doesn't go well a lot of the time. And then the other plateau is the age of 5.
Yeah.
So this is a big deal. This is a big deal. It's a big measurement. I would say big. It's an important, significant measurement to have success for child mortality up through the age of 5. And being up 50, whatever it was, 52% is for the first 25 years of this century is exceptionally good.
That's right. It's fallen by 52% since 2000. You're exactly right. One more health-related story. Artificial blood could be used for transfusions by 2030. This could reduce preventable deaths due to shortages of donor blood. They've started clinical trials at the university at Nara Medical University in Japan. Scientists extract the protein hemoglobin from expired donor blood to create virus-free particles that mimic red blood cells and are compatible with any blood type. Its shelf life is 2 years. For donor blood, it's only 35 days.
That's right.
So watch for more on this.
Wow.
That's fascinating. We have more good news stories that maybe we'll share next time.
The Wilder Show podcast. We only have one more for 2025. So one more podcast episode coming up. Instagram, you'll find us on Instagram. Search Wilder Show Pod, and then rate, and all that kind of stuff. If you want to send us email, just email podcast@wildershow.com. The Wilder Show podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Time or before on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube. We're also on the TikTok now and again. Wherever you get your podcasts, you'll find The Wilder Show podcast. So rate, follow, subscribe, and share. And Lauren, thanks.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time.
Da-da.